The wise Buddha once said, "Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own unguarded thoughts." This profound statement is the foundation of our video, in which we'll delve deeply into 7 toxic habits that poison your life, particularly if you are male. For each habit, we will show how you can delete it silently from your life. Discover what you can do instead to enhance your relationships with women, friends, and co-workers, ultimately improving your relationship with yourself. But don't worry, these life lessons are not just for Buddhists. They are for anyone who seeks to reclaim their personal power. Let's explore how ancient wisdom can transform your life. Toxic habit 1: being ultra-masculine. Men are expected to treat their bodies like machines. It is fine for them to get away with skipping sleep, working out through injuries, or even pushing their bodies to unhealthy limits. This toxic masculine standard also ensures that men don't need to visit doctors. A 2011 study found that men who held the strongest beliefs about masculinity were 50% less likely to get their annual checkups. There are obvious problems with thinking like this. For one, it not only engages men to pursue self-destructive habits, it also makes men who cannot keep up with these impossible standards feel weak and useless. What about the men who like dance or theatre or have an interest in fashion or interior design? Any of those things could result in social exclusion and ridicule. Whether it is a traditionalist father or a hyper-competitive friend group, there will always be someone to whom this will come across as weak and effeminate. No matter what part of the masculine spectrum you lie in today, you will always face a sense of inadequacy, whether you are the ultra-masculine gym freak or simple father of 2, simply trying to get by. The narrative hurts everyone by setting unrealistic expectations. It's up to us to challenge this societal expectation and embrace a more holistic and compassionate definition of masculinity. In the words of the wise Buddha, "In the sky, there is no distinction of east and west. People create distinctions out of their own minds and then believe them to be true." The Buddhists believe in the eternal balance of the yin and yang. There is a constant interplay between opposing forces, each necessary for the harmony of existence. In Zen Buddhism, the concept of masculinity is not confined to societal norms, but extends to encompass the balance of energies within oneself. Just as the yin and yang complement each other, so too must masculine and feminine qualities coexist within each individual. Toxic habit 2: suppressing emotions. Boys don't cry. Have you ever heard this saying? If it wasn't already bad enough, toxic masculinity further deters men from showing emotions. If girls feel bad, they are allowed to show it. If boys feel bad, they are expected to tough it out. Coddling up emotions might make you feel like a hero, but it robs you of the joy of life. It is far easier to experience emotion deeply and synthesize it instead of not feeling it at all. You come out a better person, a more empathetic person. Buddha said, "Your emotions make you human. Even the unpleasant ones have a purpose. Don't suppress them. Embrace them. Without them, you'll be less whole." Buddhists believe that you should experience every emotion, whether happiness, joy, dread, or misery, with equal intensity. The only catch is that you can't act upon them, just observe them and the way they make you feel. This will teach you a great deal more about yourself and others than denying them altogether. It is a natural human need to communicate emotion. Men are humans too, and they get tired, burned out, and upset. Start to talk about your feelings with someone you trust, like a close friend or spouse. Let them know what is happening in your life and how you feel about it. Take out 5 minutes from each conversation for this exercise. You might not feel comfortable the first time, But doing this for an entire month will give you a friend you can confide in completely. The path to happiness and enlightenment begins with the courageous pursuit of truth and the liberation of the mind from the shackles of ego and illusion. Toxic habit 3. Avoiding vulnerability in relationships. Try to think back to the last time you confessed that you were scared of something to your significant other. Did you have the courage to tell them that you were scared about starting a new venture, or that you are insecure about some part of your body? Did you ever tell them how much they mean to you? Society has us confusing vulnerability with weakness. Vulnerability is nothing more than being honest, especially about the things we would rather keep to ourselves. If your partner made a comment that made you feel insecure, share your feelings with them rather than brushing it off or pretending it didn't affect you. Or if your partner's expectations or demands are causing you stress or overwhelm, communicate where you need space or support. Allow yourself to experience and express those emotions without feeling ashamed or weak. Being vulnerable is crucial in any lasting relationship, whether it's with a spouse, a friend, or even a parent. If you're closed off, the other person will struggle to understand exactly where you're coming from. When men are open about their feelings and insecurities, it can encourage their partner to do the same, creating a safe and supportive space for both individuals to express themselves. In short, men ideally should develop the ability to express and hold space for other people's strong emotions. Buddhists believe that mindful meditation is the key to discovering the depths of your conscience. Knowing who you are and why you are like that will not only make it easier for you to communicate in a relationship, but also be true to yourself. Here's a simple exercise to get you started. Go up to a person you really love and give them a sincere compliment. You're lowering your guard by acknowledging the other person, but you are also clearly communicating your emotion. Imagine how far you could get if you did this for a week, for a month, or even a year for that matter. Toxic habit 4. Workaholism. Does the term hustle culture sound familiar? It's a mindset that glorifies late nights at the office, poor sleep hygiene, and a constant pursuit of success, whatever that may be. Influencers, millionaires, and self-help gurus make men feel the need to be obsessive with their productivity. And while dedication to one's work is commendable, workaholism is not a good long-term strategy. Beyond mere commitment to a job, workaholism manifests as a relentless drive to work, an aversion to disconnecting, and an obsession with output. Men are particularly predisposed to becoming workaholics because of the nature of their duty in society. Workaholic men often experience high levels of stress due to their relentless pursuit of perfection and heavy workloads. But more harmful is the fact that it disrupts the balance between work and personal life. This leads to less satisfying relationships, more frequent disagreements, and the inescapable feelings of loneliness. Ultimately, the relentless focus on work leaves little time for self-care and coping skills, increasing the risk of mental health disorders like anxiety or depression. Buddha reminds us to enjoy good health, to bring true happiness to one's family, to bring peace to all, one must first discipline and control one's mind. In Buddhism, there is a teaching known as the middle way, which advocates for moderation and balance in all aspects of life. Instead of solely focusing on work at the expense of personal well-being, individuals can strive for a harmonious integration of work and life. To avoid falling into the pitfall of workaholism, you should be setting clear boundaries between work and personal time. This will help you focus more on prioritizing self-care activities such as exercise and relaxation, and fostering meaningful connections with loved ones. No one on their deathbed will say that they wish they worked harder on their job instead of spending time with their family and friends. Toxic habit 5. Living on autopilot. Imagine waking up each day feeling like you're merely going through the motions, as if life is passing you by in a blur of boring routines and mindless obligations. You might find yourself asking, is this all there is? This sense of emptiness, of being adrift in a sea of existence, is a struggle familiar to many men. By prioritizing mental clarity and pursuing your purpose, you can break free from the cycle of mere existence and begin to thrive. Social media platforms often showcase curated, idealized versions of life and might give you the idea that you're missing out. The pressure to emulate these lifestyles diverts you from your true aspirations, and you sacrifice your priorities for fleeting moments of validation. As Buddha put it, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. Only you can set a benchmark for a life worth living. We need to ask ourselves who we are and what we want to make of the short time we are here on Earth. Journaling is a great way to get perspective. It gives us a way to define our personal values and align our actions with our aspirations. Here is a simple exercise to realign with your purpose. In your notebook, write down the 5 to 10 most important things that you want to achieve over the course of the next 3 months. Now, from these, just pick one that you really want to get done and commit to it. This process of introspection can help us cultivate a sense of purpose and direction in our lives. Toxic habit 6. Comparing yourself to others. You can compare a good apple to a rotten one, but you can't compare them to oranges. Why is it so difficult for people to compete only with themselves? The unfortunate truth for most modern men is that society is the ultimate judge of character. It will tell you you're not enough, that something is lacking, and that happiness lies just beyond your reach if you only buy the right thing. But this relentless pressure breeds self-loathing and robs you of your joy and authenticity. When was the last time you saw a friend drive around in an expensive car and you desired one for yourself? Perhaps someone's business took off, but you found yourself stuck working a boring, ill-paid 9-to-5 job. Or maybe your friend just got married to the love of his life, and you haven't had a proper relationship in years. Buddha reminds us, happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It solely relies on what you think. Focus on personal growth and progress rather than comparison. Practice detachment from worldly desires and focus on inner contentment. Buddha's own journey started with self-awareness and the insight that the root cause of all suffering is desire. The desire to have something we don't, the desire to be like someone else, or even the desire for love. Everyone's circumstances are different, and wanting what others have is a one-way ticket to eroding our self-confidence and crippling the image we have of ourselves in our minds. Follow the Buddhist tradition of catching these thoughts, evaluating them, and then casting them aside, knowing they have no power over you. Meditation on life and a greater appreciation for the gifts you already possess is an excellent place to begin. Keep a gratitude journal by your bedside, and every night, before sleeping, write 3 things you were grateful for today. By following these simple habits, you will quickly see happiness unfolding in your life. Toxic habit 7. Doubting yourself. There will come a time in a man's life when he begins a deep questioning of his identity and role in society. These periods of emotional turmoil manifest differently for different people, It almost always comes with inexplicable anxiety, distancing from relationships, and self-destructive behavior, and anything from major life events to trauma to unexpected career challenges can trigger this. Men grappling with this crisis often struggle with feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, and uncertainty, which cripples their mental health. If it wasn't already bad enough, societal pressure to conform to traditional gender norms exacerbates these challenges. Overcoming resistance to change and addressing negative self-talk are crucial steps in mitigating these effects and fostering personal growth. Buddhists remind us that you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. In this context, the Buddhists believe that the true avenue to authentic living comes from the ability to focus on the present, to give your mind away completely to observing and wrangling the thoughts that arise in your mind. The mind is a complicated place to try to explore. Therapists or life coaches can play a pivotal role here by providing a safe space for exploration and identifying underlying issues. No Zen master ever became a master without the guidance of an elder. As the Zen proverb goes, "Seek not to follow in the footsteps of the wise. Seek what they sought." By recognizing and addressing these toxic habits, you can slowly begin to loosen the grasp society has on us. Follow the strategies you learned in the 7 chapters today, and you will enhance your relationships, become a healthier person, and find true happiness in life. Remember, the journey to self-improvement and inner peace is ongoing, but with a little dedication and mindfulness, you can create a life filled with purpose, fulfillment, and authenticity.